What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. Promoter and CEO of Top Rank Boxing, Bob Arum, aka the Bob Father, the Quincy Jones of boxing promoters. You know, I call Eddie Hearn the Puff Daddy of boxing promoters, always in the video. Well, Bob Arum is the Quincy Jones of boxing promoters. He has promoted a lot of great fighters, a lot of great champions. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather Jr., aka Pretty Boy at the time that Bob Arum was promoting him, Oscar De La Hoya. You know, he's promoted some great fighters. Let him tell it, Vasily Lomachenko, Muhammad Ali 2.0. He's promoted some great fighters, great champions. Well, he recently came out and revealed his plans for fights to take place in 2022. And a lot of these fights that he mentioned are not some of the fights that people are speculating to happen. Let me just say it like that. You know, one of his top fighters, top young fighters under the Top Rank banner is Teofimo Lopez, aka Mr. Takeover. You know, he's got a fight coming up with George Kambosos, who's his mandatory contender for his IBF title. Now, he has the WBO title, he has the IBF title, and he also has the WBA title. Now, he has a WBC franchise title, but in my opinion, that's not a real belt. That's nothing but a trophy belt, basically. That's just, you know, something to say. That's just something to, really, that's something not to hold you down as far as mandatories. That's basically what the WBC brought in, the franchise belt. So the champion won't be neglected from taking on a fight of a greater magnitude or bigger money fight, and he say, well, you got a mandatory coming up. You got to take care of that mandatory. We're going to strip you of your belt. He ain't got to be obligated to take that mandatory when he's the franchise champion. He can move and groove and fight the best fight available, the highest earning fight available. Let me put it to you like that. That's what that WBC franchise title is really for. Outside of that, it's not really a real belt in my opinion. So for him and his dad to say they're undisputed, nah. Y'all not undisputed. The WBC champion is Devin the Dream Haney. So we will see how that plays out. But in regards to Teofimo Lopez, he's going to be taking on George Kambosos. Bob Arum has revealed that if he's successful in his fight with George Kambosos, that he will then look forward to taking on undisputed, a true undisputed champion at that, Josh Taylor, who's undisputed at 140 pounds. He'll be looking to make that fight. Now, Josh Taylor has a fight in February against Jack Cottrell. So they don't want Teofimo Lopez sitting on the sideline waiting for Josh Taylor to get through with that fight. And he'll probably be not available till the summer of 2022. So they'll be looking to get Teofimo Lopez a fight after the Kambosos fight. But this fight won't be against Devin the Dream Haney. Now, everybody been speculating that that's going to be the fight next. In particular, Haney's promoter, Eddie Hearn, saying that's the fight that should happen next if both fighters are victorious. Devin Haney has a fight coming up with JoJo Diaz. Ooh, yeah! That fight taking place a week after George Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez. So the schedule works out real good for those two fighters to meet up if they're both victorious. But that's not what's going to happen according to the Bob Father. He says if Teofimo Lopez gets the victory over George Kambosos, that he will probably go up to 140 and take on Jose Zepeda or Arnold Barbosa, both top-ranked fighters at 140 pounds. That's going to be his next fight if he's victorious against Kambosos. So all this talking about Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney is not happening next. So people need to brace themselves and get ready for that reality, because that's what's going down. It's not happening next. You know, Eddie Hearn do all these videos talking about what's happening like he really got control of things, like he really pulling the strings, but he actually ain't pulling nothing. You know what I'm saying? He ain't pulling nothing. He pulling the BS card is basically what he pulling. I hate to say that. I know he's trying to make the fight, and I actually agree with him on this. I would like to see that fight happen next so we can clarify who is the top dog at 135 pounds. But it's not happening next, man. You got to understand that Bob Arum has another route that he wants Teofimo Lopez to go. And right now, Bob Arum is not feeling Eddie Hearn anyway. He said he don't like the fact that Eddie Hearn is promoting a fight between one of his top fighters and Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos when he has no ties to either one of those two fighters, in particular Teofimo Lopez. After that fight, Teofimo Lopez would go back to Top Rank. He just got through signing a multi-fight deal, and he'll continue on with his career. Bob Arum don't like the fact that Eddie Hearn has dipped his nose in the Top Rank's business, according to the Bob father, messing around with his fighters. He would never do that. He would never bid on a fighter up under Matchroom Boxing, even in a one-off type of scenario. He would never do that. He don't know why Eddie Hearn would do something like that. So he ain't trying to work with Eddie Hearn. You know, then you look at the whole Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua fiasco. That left a lot of bad tastes in people's mouths, in particular Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, and Bob Arum. So I don't think those two guys are going to be linking up and making big fights happening anytime soon. That's a sad state of affairs for boxing fans and a sad state of affairs for the boxing community. But it is what it is. So look for Teofimo Lopez after the Kambosos fight. If he gets the victory, to move up to 140, he get to dip his toes in the 140-pound division, get one fight in, and then challenge Josh Taylor for the undisputed titles at 140 pounds. Now, Josh Taylor could drop those belts and move up to 147 pounds and challenge Terrence Bud Crawford as he's victorious against Sean Porter this Saturday. So there's a lot of moving parts, and we have to see what happens, and we have to see what transpires. But that's the latest and the greatest. Another round of news as far as Top Rank Boxing goes is Tyson Fury. As we know, the WBC ruled not to mandate Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury because Dillian Whyte is locked into an arbitration with the WBC, and they don't want to rule on that mandatory until that's all cleared up, and that could take several months. Team Fury has said that they're not going to be sitting on the sideline waiting for all that to clear up, and they want to take a voluntary in the meantime. And the fighter that I'm hearing that they're going to link up, and I'm getting this from the Bob father, is Joe-Joyce, who's slow as molasses, but those punches and bunches. Very exciting fighter, man. Never been in a boring fight, man. Joe-Joyce, he's a guy that's promoted by Frank Warren. Frank Warren and Bob Arum are basically working together when they guide Tyson Fury's career, and that's the fight that's likely to take place in the first quarter of 2022. Tyson the Gypsy King Fury versus Joe-Joyce. That fight will go down over there in the UK. If Tyson Fury is successful in that fight and Dillian Whyte clears up his situation with the WBC and they mandate him, then you look for Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte in the summer of 2022. Summer of 2022. So we will see what happens and we will see what transpires. That's the latest and the greatest, as we got a lot of moving parts. Another thing, as far as Oscar Valdez go, Bob Arum says he's like to make the Oscar Valdez versus Emmanuel Navarrete. And then he was also like to make Shakur Stevenson versus Vasily Lomachenko. Now, Lomachenko has to get through Richard Comey on December 11th. That fight's going down on Heisman Trophy night. Will take place right after the Heisman Trophy ceremony, so they should get good ratings for that fight. If he's victorious against Coleman, he would like to set the stage for him versus Shakur Stevenson in the winners meet in the summer of 2022. Now, both fights, if they take place, Shakur Stevenson, Vasily Lomachenko, that fight will take place in the spring. Navarrete versus Valdez would take place a little earlier in the spring. And the winners will meet at the earliest in the summer of 2022, at the latest fall of 2022. Maybe the winners might meet up on Heisman Trophy night in 2022. That'll be the latest. So that's some of the things I'm hearing and some of the nuggets that I got from the Bob father, Bob Arum. Let me know your thoughts on what Bob Arum has laid out for his path for upcoming fights in 2022. Do you like it, or are you like me? I don't really like how they moving Teofimo Lopez. Don't really like how they doing that. I don't like how they moving him. I think he should take care of his business at 135. He's got unfinished business at 135. He needs to fight Devin Haney. If Devin Haney is successful against JoJo Diaz. Even if JoJo Diaz wins, he needs to fight the winner of that, because that winner of that will be the WBC champion. Now, if JoJo wins, he's got to fight Devin Haney for a second time. It's a one-way rematch clause. That's another one of the things that Eddie Hearn puts into contracts of his top fighters. He's done it with Devin Haney. He's done it with Anthony Joshua, and he's done it with Dillian White. So he would have to actually beat him twice. But if Devin Haney is successful, I would like to see Devin versus Teofimo in the spring of 2022. But according to the ball father, that's not the plan for Teofimo Lopez. Let me know your thoughts about what the ball father's plans are for his fighters in 2022. You like him or you don't like him like I do? I really don't like how he's moving. I want to see Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson next, and I want to see Teofimo Lopez versus Devin the Dream Haney next. If it don't look like either one of those fights are going to happen in the near future. Let me know your thoughts and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, and I holla.